Well, here's your new king, people, or Canada. You know what? 10 months ago, this man said some pretty strong words at the COP26, where he said that we need warlike things to tackle climate, and he's giving his authority also unto, well, what I would call the beast, yeah, to Rome for climate. But let's listen to what this man says 10 months ago about climate at the United Nations COP26.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
Here we need a vast military-sized campaign to marshal the strength of the private sector. So in their government handouts, they are going to help militarize and lock down people through climate. It's very interesting, and they're going to do it with all the big corporations because you're never bite the hand that feed you, right? You're going to do it to Amazon and Facebook and all these companies, and you're going to fund them to get the technology in. Yeah, it's very interesting, but keep on listening.
With trillions at his disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders.
With the greatest respect, and even he is beyond the government of the world leaders. This guy posted this about 10 months ago when it came up, and another video, a Christian video, said he was calling out the Antichrist, but they didn't know who it was. But this man is going to enforce it through there. Like, if you just listen what he says here, it is very interesting what he says.
Disposal. Far beyond
trillions at its
GDP,
disposal.
And with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition. So,
it's very interesting how he has put that together, and you know, and who is that man that is above respect? Who is that man? This is that man that they're going to give the greatest respect to above all governments, right? This is who he admires so much on climate. And if you just ask Google, what are Prince Charles' views on climate change?
According to Thomson Reuters Foundation News, at the UN COP26 climate conference in Glasgow last year, Charles said the world needed a warlike footing to tackle the existential threat of climate change and biodiversity loss.
Right, a warlike footing. They are going to go to war with this climate yet, and they're going to strengthen the private sector. Well, who's the private sector? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Amazon. They are going to fund them to push their agenda if you watch the whole video. But it's interesting, just so you can see how these world governments are lining up with this climate. Here's John Kerry saying the same thing. He is above all governments.
To step up, because no one country can solve this problem. It takes all of us together to get it done.
In very practical terms, how can the United States, as a superpower, and the Holy See, as a much smaller country, but nonetheless as a moral and spiritual authority?
Moral and spiritual authority is this man in the background. Moral and spiritual authority over what? What does he have authority over?
Collaborate in the fight against climate change.
Climate.
Well, Holy Father is one, if not one of the most powerful voices on the planet, and he's been extraordinary in the eloquence of his.
Right, and he is going to take control for the last. They are going to give their power and their strength unto this man, and we have a king now that is about to give him the power, I believe.
Creation. And we all have to be stewards of that creation. That's his message. But because he is above politics and that,
He is the steward. People, wake up. Your king is uniting with all the world governments.